Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I hope everyone's having a great start to their Tuesday, or I guess they're having a good Tuesday so far. Welcome to the afternoon stretch break. As always, if you have any parts of your body that are tight or any areas that you want to focus on, feel free to drop that in the chat box and I'll add that into what we're doing today. The plan is to start off with your entire spine. Okay, we can definitely add some spine stuff in there. I'm already planning on doing some stuff, so it's perfect. And we're gonna do a little bit of we're just gonna get some total body stretching in today, but a lot of rotation stuff. So we can go ahead and get started. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in a nice down dog position. So getting onto our hands and our feet, starting in a nice plank position here. And once we find our core and we're nice and flat here, we're gonna go ahead and push our hips up towards the ceiling and we're gonna get a nice upper back stretch out of this. So if you kind of poke your head through, stretch out your upper back as much as you can. That's kind of the focus of this one because my back is sore. But we're also gonna get a nice calf stretch out of this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one foot and you're just gonna put all your weight onto it. So right now, all my weight is on my left foot. My right foot is slightly elevated. If you need a little bit extra attention, you can go ahead and take that right foot and place that on the back of your heel, if that's what feels comfortable for you. Or you can just kind of leave your right foot hanging there. And what we're gonna do is we're going to spend a little bit of time doing each side. So let's go ahead and switch over now to the other opposite foot. Still feeling that nice stretch through the upper back, pressing that heel into the ground. And let's go ahead and do each one more time. So pushing the left heel into the ground. Also gonna start to feel this in our shoulders a little bit. And let's go ahead and press that right foot or the opposite foot into the ground again. Straightening out the back of our leg, really feeling that nice stretch through the back of our calf. Breathing through any tightness here. And let's go ahead and return back to that starting position of being in a down dog. And what we're going to do is we're going to push ourselves back into a nice plank position. And from here, we're going to go ahead and move into some pigeon pose. We're going to stretch out the back of our hips again. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with my right foot. I'm going to bring my right knee right in between where my hands are. And I'm going to gently set my left leg on the ground. So, oh, I don't know if you guys can see my leg there. Let me move my camera a little bit for you. So we have my right foot is in between my hands, left foot is or left leg is all the way straightened. And you can either stay here if that feels comfortable for you, or you can drop down onto your elbows, try and get as close to the ground as we can. But we're really starting to feel this stretch on the outer part of our hip that is under our body. So we're starting to feel that on the outer portion of the hip. Can help us open our hips up by stretching out the back of our hips a little bit more. You know, if we've been sitting all day, even if you've been standing, or if you tend to ride a bike, anything like that, you can kind of get tight in those hips. So this will help stretch it out a little bit more. Taking nice, big, deep belly breaths, exhaling nice and slow, relieving any tension here. And let's go ahead and do one more big inhale. And slowly exhale. We can come back up onto your hands if you're on your elbows. And we can push ourselves up, tuck that toe under, and we'll find ourselves back in that plank position. So we have nice tight core, back is flat. We're gonna do that same thing on the other side. So now taking the left knee, bringing that right in between our hands, tucking our toe under, placing our right leg all on the ground. And again, if this is a good stretch for you in that outer part of the hip right here, go ahead and stay there. But again, if you need a little bit of extra stretch here, you can go ahead and bring your elbows to the ground, even your head if that's reachable for you today. But we want just a nice light stretch in that outer part of our hip. Maybe you even feel it in the front of the hip, into the hamstrings a little bit. But really breathing into the stretch. We want to breathe and relieve any tension that we feel. So we're breathing, exhaling and nice and slow, taking big, deep belly breaths here. And let's go ahead and do one more big inhale here. And we'll slowly exhale. And we can come back onto our hands, tuck that toe under, and find ourselves back in the plank. And then you can drop down to your knees. We're going to go ahead and flip over onto our side here. So first off, what we're going to do is a nice 90-90 stretch with an arm sweep. So we're going to be on our side. So I'm going to start off on my left side here. I'm going to have my knees straight out in a 90-degree angle here. My knees out. My feet are directly below those knees. So we got a 90-degree angle in the hips and in the knees. And we're going to start with our hands straight out in front of us. If you go to Luis's stretch breaks, he does this similar exercise with the opening the book. So our hands are directly out in front. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our top hand, we're going to drag it all the way across the ground, following the gaze with our eyes. So our eyes are looking past that thumb, and our whole back is nice and flat on the ground. And we exhale over here, and then we're going to slowly make our way back to that starting position. So this is going to give us a little bit of a stretch throughout the spine. Also going to give us a nice chest opening stretch here a little bit too. So we're being multi-purpose here. We want to make sure our knees are staying on the ground, staying on top of each other as we drag that hand across, up and over our heads, and back. Following that gaze, getting a nice rotation through the neck. And wherever we're at, let's go ahead and make this our last one here. So we're opening up, rotating here, getting that nice stretch. And on the exhale, returning back to center. Wonderful. So now we can go ahead and flip over onto the other side. We're going to do the same stretch. So I was on my left side. Now I'm going to be on my right side. Knees, 90-degree angles, ankles directly below those knees, hands straight out in front. And we're going to sweep that hand all the way across the top of our head, following the gaze. So we're looking past that thumb. Our whole back is aiming to be on the ground. And then we're going to sweep it on back to that center position. So we're inhaling to prepare, exhaling, opening up as much as we can, dragging that hand as far away from us as we can, feeling that stretch through the upper body, getting some nice twisting in, and coming back to center. Awesome job, everyone. And wherever we're at, let's go ahead and do one more of these. Opening up as much as we can, sliding that hand up and over, keeping it on the ground, returning back to starting position. Awesome. Okay, last thing we're going to do today, we're going to make our way back onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to work on threading the needle here. So I'm going to start with my right hand. I'm going to take my right hand, thread it in between my left arm and my left leg. I'm going to place my head on the ground here. So we're getting a nice stretch, some rotation through our upper back. Feeling that through our spine, through the shoulders a little bit, maybe into your traps. And what we're going to do here is we're going to, if you feel comfortable doing so, if you'd like a little extra of a chest opener / some more rotation, you can go ahead and take that hand that's on the ground, so my left hand. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around my body, tucking that into the back of, or into the crease of my hip of my right leg.
So that gives us a little bit extra rotation here, a little bit of an extra stretch through the upper body, through the chest. Sometimes our chest needs some love since we tend to hunch over at our computers all day, so this will help offset that a little bit. Breathing nice and deep into our chest, exhaling, releasing all that tension in our upper body here, through the spine a little bit as well. Let's go ahead and do one more big inhale. And slowly exhale. We can go ahead and place that left hand on the ground and then the right hand, and we'll return back to our hands and our knees. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I use my right hand first, and I'm going to take my left hand, thread it in between my right arm and my right leg, pushing the back of my hand into the ground, pulling away with my upper back. Feeling that stretch right under the shoulder blades, getting a little bit extra rotation through the spine as well. And then taking my right hand, getting a little extra chest opener, wrapping that around my body and tucking it right into the crease of my left hip. Inhaling nice and deep into the chest, exhaling, releasing all the tension we have. I love this stretch to kind of offset all that sitting, or even when I stand, sometimes my posture isn't that good. This will kind of help open everything up. Get ready to go for the rest of the workday. So nice to take a little bit to stretch. All you need is 10 minutes. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and do one more big inhale here. And we're going to slowly exhale. We can go ahead and place the right hand back on the ground and then the left hand. And then you can return to seated, kneeling, or standing, however you'd like to end the stretch break. But thank you all so much for coming and joining me. I hope that was nice and relaxing. I hope you feel ready to tackle on the rest of the day. Don't forget, today is Tuesday, so we do have one more class today. Luis is teaching his abs and core class at 4:30, so don't miss out on that. We also have our membership satisfaction survey that is open right now through the 26th. So we really would appreciate any feedback, and all feedback. I'm going to put that link in the chat right now for everyone to fill out. So you can go ahead and fill that out at any time before the 26th. And we greatly, greatly will appreciate all the feedback we will get. But thank you all so much for coming to today's stretch break. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all soon.